And welcome to the show, everybody. Good to have you with us. It is Wednesday, September the 16th. Welcome to Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions. Hi, everybody. It's Brent Bailey, and it's a great day to be alive. How are you doing today? Give me a little more volume in my headphones, guys. All right. Hopefully you're having a great day. It is Wednesday. I know that it's the hump day. It's the middle of the week. It's a great day because it's all downhill from here. I don't know about you, but I'm happy about that. I always am. When we cross over this middle section, it's like Thursday and Friday goes by really fast, and we're into the weekend. So, anyway, I am being joined right now by Jody and Luke over at the tech booth, and I'm going to have them join me right now. Okay, my computer's not on, but and I'm hearing a really bad echo. So, anyway. We're going to get it, I hope. All right, let's get the show on the road. All right, so.
Let's do this.
Guys, wow, that was rough, but it's all downhill from here.
Oh, no,
Everything
no.
is a breeze.
Oh, okay.
From here.
All right, that's good.
That was the hump. We were at it.
Okay.
Now we're over it, so.
I always think about going downhill, though, is...
No, it's coasting. We've
It's
coasted our
coasting.
way
Got
to the
it,
top
yeah.
of the hill.
Yeah.
Now we're over it.
Now
so.
we're good.
All right, so there's lots going on in the world today, but before we get to that, I got a great show for you today. I got a great guest.
Yes.
His name is Loren Weisman, and he has been a music producer, studio musician, author, entrepreneur, marketing and branding specialist. He is just a wealth of knowledge, and he's going to be coming out here in just a little bit to help us expand our search as we stop for directions.
Yes.
Like how it worked out in there.
Yeah.
All right, so
Sneaky.
let's look and see what's going on in the world today. Today is a great day. It is not
There's
just
a
a
lot of great
Wednesday.
things,
I know
yeah.
I've said that like 30 times a day, but today is huge. For those of us who like Mexican food, this is a big day.
You know, it should have been yesterday because, you got Taco Tuesday.
I know. It's like
I don't know why,
it's like
but...
they just miss it.
Yeah.
Today's National Guacamole
Guacamole Day.
And we should go to Rocco's.
Should we?
Rocco's Tacos and Dr. Phillips. We should, man, they do tableside
They do
guacamole,
great
and they're
guac.
still doing it during all of the lockdowns and everything.
Yeah.
They just don't, like.
I don't think they do it at the table.
Well,
Do they do it at the
well,
table?
they're still fresh making it, but they're doing it in the back.
Right.
So.
Right.
So anyway, today's National Guacamole Day. It's a great, my mouth started
Yeah.
watering just thinking about
Yeah.
it. So. What else is going
Good
on
stuff.
today?
Today is Mayflower Day.
Is that like the ship, Mayflower?
Yes, that's the ship. And the history of it is that it commemorates the day the Mayflower set sail for the New World, not the day that they landed in the New World.
All right, so this is the day they left
Yes.
England.
Yes.
All right.
So just something for you history buffs who probably know a whole lot more about it than we do. It's also National Cinnamon Raisin Bread Day. That's a mouthful right there. But
Yeah.
Get it?
Okay. So, but I also, that just goes along with the article I read in the newspaper that Cinnabon is actually now starting to feature their own line at the grocery store. So you can go. You don't have to go to the mall, or you don't have to go to the airport. You can go. You can go to the grocery store. They have frozen cinnamon buns. Wow, and do they have a chicken sandwich at Cinnabon? Because now they also have a chicken sandwich that you can purchase.
Like a breakfast chicken sandwich?
All I know is it says is a Cinnabon frozen chicken sandwich.
Yeah. Drop down below and tell us.
Have you ever had a chicken sandwich? I thought they just did big cinnamon buns, and that was it.
Yeah, I did too. That's all I get there.
But they're available at Walmart, Target, and Safeway, and with other places that's going to expand into. So that goes right along with Cinnamon Raisin Bread Day. So.
Yeah, it does.
All right, what else?
So National Play-Doh Day.
Ooh.
I like the idea of Play-Doh. I don't like the cleanup of Play-Doh. It kind of stresses me out a little bit. When our kids want to play with Play-Doh, I just
you want
know
to keep them at the table.
I want to keep them at the table. It's going to get in carpet.
Yeah, away from it. Keep it away from the carpet.
Yeah.
It's important.
It is. And then you have to make sure that the lids go back on because otherwise it will dry. and there's really no going back.
Okay.
You know, can't get it to the original. So.
All right, so it's also Step Family Day.
Yes.
So shout out right now to your whole Step family.
Yeah. Shout out to the Harrison clan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Luke also.
Yeah.
Has a Step family. So
sister,
your dad,
your
stepdad, your stepdad,
and a mom.
Yeah.
No,
So
I don't have a stepdad anymore.
Okay. Do we want to
my mom is dead, so he's not my stepdad.
Golly, that's wow.
Throwing it out there.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Also, he's remarried, so.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Okay.
I mean,
well,
there it is.
All right. That's awkward, and we're moving on now.
We're sorry.
So
okay.
yeah, man, life. Oh man.
Everyone stretch your
There's a
hands
fail
towards
buzz right there. Okay.
Towards the camera and.
Yeah.
Towards the
Where
screen.
were we? What else is going on today?
Anyway, National Working
Oh man, I'm
Parents
so
Day.
sorry.
National Working Parents Day. So for parents that, so many parents are working in the home, but they're still working. There are parents that have to, families that have to make a living in order to support their children,
Yes.
their families. So shout out to all the working parents. It's a lot of them.
All right. Oh
Yeah.
My mom worked a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like so much that me and my sister joked that we were probably raised a little bit more by TV.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of kids that
After
do that.
school cartoons
Yeah, kept us
raised
in
a
the
lot
house.
of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, both of my parents worked. My mom worked for a doctor, and my dad was a building contractor. So there's plenty of days I rode the bus home.
Yep.
Now, my aunt and uncle lived right behind us, but I came in by myself. And sometimes my Aunt Pam, who she's passed on now, so she would come down and say, "You okay? Do you want anything?" She'd make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and they usually had big clumps of jelly in them. They were so good. So
I mean, it's nice. My mom would say it was nice to know that we were watching TV and that it was almost like a babysitter that
Right.
because
Yeah,
she
sure.
couldn't afford it.
Sure.
She couldn't afford.
I think the term that we all when you're is latchkey. You're a latchkey.
Yes,
kid,
a
so.
latchkey kid.
Yeah. Now I didn't spend. I'm sure the same for you. It's not like you're by yourself for 12 hours a day.
No,
or anything.
no.
It was just a
After
couple hours
school.
after school until they got home from work. Yeah. Yep. Been there, done that. All right. So let's see. This day in history. Today was the day that Gandhi began his world famous hunger strike.
Yeah.
Today was the day that he started that.
Have you
Yeah.
seen that picture that shows all of Gandhi's worldly possessions? And it's just like a pair of sandals, his glasses, a pencil, and like a thing of paper, and that's like it.
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
No.
it's pretty cool.
Wow. Well, okay, so today's the day he began that. Also, this is the day that the United States imposed the draft. The draft was instituted on this day, September the 16th, 1940. And also today is the birthday of General Motors. It started this day in 1908.
Very
Shout out GM, send us a free car.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
We're all about that. All right, so Luke presented something to us a couple of days ago. We've been trying to figure out a time to work it in here, and it was, with all the quarantining and all of the mask talk and with all of everything, there are some people that are really stepping up. Now, I know that when we first started the show, we talked about one of the sports apparel companies retooled their factory to make masks so you could get, a Boston Red Sox mask. That's for Loren. A Reds mask, Yankees, whoever. You could get your favorite team because it was the same team that was making the uniforms, just
Right.
switched over and started using the same material to make the mask. We just have discovered that there are just some things that there's just no limit to some people.
No, there isn't.
Louis Vuitton has gotten into the act.
Let's go ahead.
Louis Vuitton is now that's
That's it.
that's the Louis Vuitton face mask.
Yeah.
Now, that's all well and good. It's a piece of plastic. You can
you
see the
sure?
logo and stuff around.
Expensive plastic.
$941. Is that what I read? Is
I
that
think
right?
so. For something you have to wear every day, all the time, wherever you're going. Yeah, it's easy.
$941 for a Louis Vuitton mask. Man, I wonder if any of the other luxury companies are going to get involved. I mean, I know for me, it was a stretch to spend the $23 that I spent to get a Bane mask. I have a mask It's like Bane from the Dark Knight. $23. I was at the top of the. I mean,
that's a pretty cool mask, though.
It is a pretty cool mask, and I get lots of looks,
especially from far away. I'm like,
Bane's coming towards me.
I have another one. It's the Hulk. I got it at Disney World. It's the Hulk's face right here. So it looks like I'm green. My mom saw it and she goes, "Is he smoking a cigarette? Is that what?" Because his teeth are white and it sticks out. So
I have been seeing a lot more people on Instagram like linking their Etsy accounts and making some really cool creative masks.
Yeah.
There are lots of people that are jumping on the bandwagon as far as I wonder if any other luxury brands such as Gucci,
or
Rolex,
Coach.
or Coach,
Right.
or Ray-Ban, or some of these other Bentley.
Oh my.
Well, regardless of
Bentley.
your stance on whether you like them or not, it does kind of seem like people are banking on them to stay around.
I've heard that will be one of the biggest Christmas presents this year. Is custom made. No, seriously, I've heard that the custom mask will be a big Christmas present this year.
Makes sense.
And who are we talking? We're talking about somebody at church about that. At our church, we were talking about that, and we said it'll probably be somebody coming out with like ugly Christmas sweaters,
Oh,
or
yes.
or the Santa Claus beard as a mask, or something like that. So
Yeah.
And if
trademark, we're gonna
it's a business trademark thing. It's already done. So
Yes, no one take it.
all right,
uglychristmasmasks.com.
It's going to be interesting to see if it actually happens. If it actually happens, it'll be a good Christmas present. White elephant gift for sure.
Absolutely.
Without question.
Absolutely.
And then I wonder if it'll happen around Halloween. Like if people are gonna,
you know
like
what?
Scary masks.
In fact, I told Peyton.
Like you just go ahead and do the whole face.
I told Peyton because he's like wanting to find a I almost said a Christmas costume, a Halloween costume, and certain places that you go, you can't, like they're having a Halloween.
Well,
day.
that's the thing is that the reason we're talking about that part of it is that both Disney and Universal canceled their Halloween.
Yes.
I think SeaWorld did too. SeaWorld has the Boo-tacular, whatever it's called. Of course, Universal has Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh, so sad that they canceled
and
that.
Disney has the Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Yeah.
All of those have been canceled. But this weekend, I believe both Disney and Universal, or is it just Universal?
Yeah, I know it's Universal. I don't know about Disney.
But I think I read where Universal or Disney's going to do it.
Start.
Anyway, this weekend, Universal Orlando, now folks in California, I'm sorry, but Universal Orlando is going to be having like a test night.
A test night.
A Halloween season test night.
Yeah.
Just to see if it works with masks.
Did you see that they're still going to do food and wine?
At Epcot?
At Epcot, huh?
Oh.
Well, it makes sense because it's spread out.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, you go around the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I guess some things are essential and some things aren't. So.
Food and wine, that's
Food
exciting.
and wine, I guess that's essential.
I mean, people love that around here.
So anyway, but I wonder how that's going to work with the masks.
Okay, I know that they can't wear a mask that impairs their vision.
Okay.
So they can't. I mean, there's a lot of kids costumes out there that have a full face mask.
I've seen tons of masks that are this year for Halloween already. This Freddy Krueger, or Jason, or Darth Vader, or just this part of them though.
Yeah.
Michael Myers, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, we got to move on.
We do need to move on.
My Lord, we've taken enough of our time, and our guest is waiting in the wings.
He is. He's ready.
I'm really excited to have our guest today. He's a buddy of mine that I got to meet a little over a year ago at a conference here in Orlando. He is a marketing specialist. He is a music producer. He is a music person in general. He's a studio musician. We're going to get into all that, but he's an author. He's just a speaker and an all-around great guy. And I want you to welcome to the program today, Loren T. Weisman. What's up, Loren? How are you, man?
Hey, man. I'm right there with Jody about the Play-Doh. And when my daughter Olivia wants a Play-Doh, I said, no.
Yeah, you got to go play on the tile or the linoleum. You can't bring it to the carpet. That's...
Oh, and she just wants to. It's she start her on the tile, and then it's like, can I bring it up on the couch? No. I want to play with it in bed.
Unless you do like your grandparents and just leave the plastic wrapping on your couch, so that when you sit on it, it rubs and makes a.
It wasn't until having a kid that I realized what our grandparents.
What wisdom that was, right?
It makes perfect sense now.
So let's just jump right into this, man. How have you been during COVID? What's been going on? I know that you travel and speak, and it's probably been limited quite a bit.
Yeah, the last date I did was February in Las Vegas, and it was starting to show the signs of, is everything going to shut down? And it shut down quick. I mean, the last 6 months have been at home, and really, it's been funny. I had to get tested for it on Sunday.
Oh my gosh! You were exposed?
They're not sure. I don't think I was. I'm doing it as a preemptive, measure. But I think I'm completely fine. Just a little worn down, a little tired of all the quarantine and everything else. But just because there are a couple resonating, symptoms, just to be careful, I'm getting tested.
Well, we're going to pray that you don't have it. So that's,
thank you.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about your book. Now, you wrote a book that's been around for a little while called An Artist's Guide to Being a Success in the Music Business, or something similar to that. I probably butchered that.
Something like that. Artist's Guide to Success in the Music Business.
Yeah,
yes.
I knew it was a mouthful. There it is on the screen right there. Now, you wrote this because you've been a studio musician for a long time.
I was. I dropped out of college. The old joke at Berklee College of Music was you drop out and you become a musician, or you graduate and you become a teacher. And I went the route of dropping out. I was a ghost drummer for a lot of years. As you can see, not the prettiest mug, but I got to do
some people think we're related, so don't say that. Some people have looked at us and, is that your brother?
I'll take that. But it was a really cool behind the scenes view of music. It went into television. I got to work on hundreds of albums, and it wasn't the albums or the artists or the famous artists. It was personalities and personas and the way people handled fame and failure and success and everything in between. And then the book came out of it. Somebody asked me, I was at a bar one night, and he said, you should write a book. And I just jumped on it. And I said, and it was more from the story that I didn't like a lot of the other books that were out there on the music business. They were very linear. This is what I did. This is how I did it. This is how I was successful. You have to do that. To me, that's more subjective than it is objective. So the goal of this book was, I've been on 700 some albums. I'm not out there saying, look at me. I'm more so saying, look at all these individual experiences that have culminated to these consistencies and this thing that constantly resonates, whether you've got a truckload of money, whether you don't, whether you're in rap, whether you're in rock, Christian, jazz, anywhere else. And so it was a beautiful thing. I really don't consider myself an author. I had a proofreader, an editor, a tech editor, and all that, but it was a fun experience. I followed it up. The Dummies series called me. I did Music Business for Dummies for them. And that was my, I call it the exodus from the music business.
Oh, all right. All right. So I know that you've said it a couple times, and I know that there's some non-disclosure agreements, so you can't divulge too much, but any albums that you can let us in on? Like, can we have any? Like, and here it comes. He's going to drop one of the like nonchalantly. Oh, no big deal. I played on, Back in Black or something. It'll be something like Landmark album. Are you allowed to say anything, or do you want to say anything? I don't want to put you on the spot.
Oh, no, it's okay. I'm battling with a lot of the confidentiality and the non-disclosures. What I do find funny about the internet and Instagram and Pinterest is that pictures have been popping up, and it's, oh, I didn't know you played with so-and-so. I said, technically and legally, neither did I. I found and it kind of relates. I found an element of ego in music, and even being behind the scenes. It was a humble thing being behind the scenes, but there was this weird non-resonating pride or ego. And looking back on my career now, for the people that I met, for the people that I worked with, I say it's more of a learning experience of what I've done. I mean, there are those moments where I hear something and I'm like, yep, that was me. But I've stepped away from music as a whole to say I was a part of the music business, less of the creativity, but a part of the business. So I don't name out as much stuff anymore. The one thing, and I got called out for this a couple of days ago, I didn't play with Lady Gaga, but I did play with Stephanie Germanotta.
Okay. That's good enough. That's good enough. All right. For those of you who are keeping score at home, who is that? That's her real name. So anyway, okay, let's get to Fish Stewarding Group, because I know that's a big part of your days now, the things that you're doing, the Fish Stewarding Group. Tell us a little bit about it, and how did you get started doing it, and what is it?
Fish Stewarding Group is stewarding strategic solutions. That's the summary, that's the tagline. In a lot of what Doug Fish, who's the founder, and you could call him the lead steward, we've seen, and we got together through it was a business cruise for Roland Roberts and Peter Lowe. That
Yeah.
was shortly after when we met.
Yeah.
And
I remember you saying you were going to go. That was your next big thing. So
yeah. And Doug and I were on the boat together. We didn't really talk. We met a couple weeks later afterwards through a mutual contact. And we sat and talked for hours about our views on business, our views on faith, our views on what was working, what wasn't working, all the changes, and everything resonated in a way that it never has for me. And I saw that all the culminations in being around Doug, all the culminations of my success, my failure, from music to TV to everything else to writing, it all made sense that it had a new path and a journey. And I knew that journey was with Doug. And what stewarding strategic solutions means to us, it means looking at businesses and not coaching and life coaching and consulting and this and that, but much more about really the parable of, what are you basing your brand, your vision, your business on? What's the soil? Because too many people, in our view, are planting on the pathways. They're planting on the stones. They're planting in the thorns. And while things all of a sudden explode and move up quickly, they also crash just as quickly. So the key elements are education, protection, and the stewarding of direction. Direction Church. There you go.
Oh, come on now. I didn't even pay for that. All right. So now let's slow down just a little bit, because that's a lot to take in just a little bit, and a lot of you're welcome. There's a lot of folks that really when they try to put their message or whatever it is, their story, or into something where people can grasp it, they're really just almost, I hate to use this term because my biology teacher used to use it, and it just never really resonated with me, but it does now. A lot of people just regurgitate knowledge and don't even ever understand the why, and they just kind of do it mechanically. So as you're saying that, and first of all, let me just bring everybody up to speed. He's referring to a parable in the Bible where Jesus talked about the sower casting seed on stony and thorny and ground and the pathway, and it didn't take any root. There's a lot of people out there, Loren, that don't ever have their story take root with other people, and this is some of the things that you're trying to fix.
It is. I mean, to simplify it and back up a little bit, it is the message. It's the story that we have individually, and when we get our message resonating so that the intention of our heart, our vision, our path, our beliefs are able to be perceived closely. We're never going to get perfect perception from intention. We can go further. And at the same time, when we protect ourselves, there are so many people out there, and just like what you mentioned before, it's regurgitated knowledge. It's expired truths. It's, yes, this person, and it's why I don't circle around, but an album that I played on in 1993 has nothing to do with what I know about the music industry today. Just so as good. Somebody being successful in a boardroom in 1999, it's a different set of parameters, of optics, of metrics. And then when they come out in 2020 saying, I can build your business. We have sites out there. I'm not going to name it. I'm not going defamation here, but you can download a book that is 90% done, fill in 10%, add the cover, put it out there. This is for coaches. This is for consultants. It's so much out there is heading toward this false prophetic word to make all the money that we can possibly make, as opposed to creating a good wealth that can go to the community around us. So when we stop and put on the brakes for 1 second and just say, am I getting my message out authentically, organically, with authority? And is it true? And is it not, not my truth, the truth? There is to me, there's no my truth. There is the truth, or there is opinion. And even in that, some of the stuff that you view and where we differ on football. I know your opinion on football teams. That's not a truth, it's an opinion. My opinion is different. And if we can sit there and drink a beer or whatever and discuss opinions, we can have a blast debating. If we're sitting there trying to force a subjective into an objective, it's not going to be friendly. It's not going to be fun. And that's a lot of the conversations that are happening right now in the world.
So, man, folks, if you can't tell so far, there's so much truth to that. And Loren does talk fast, so you got to really pay attention. That is so powerful that you have to know the truth. That's the question I think so many people are wrestling with now, is how do you identify it and how do you come to terms with what it is?
When we know that, when we come to a humble place and we say, I'm going to understand that maybe 10 other people have said the same thing as me. Now, in that humility, it's not saying, well, I mean it more, or I know it more. It's taking 2 steps back and saying, how do I say it so it can be shared and heard? When we move from this level of feeling the need to be called an authority, which it's good to be an authority, but to organically and humbly get our message across, more people connect. We're tired of being told, like, share, follow, don't forget to do this, you got to do that, comment, subscribe. We can flip the switch to...
You're stepping on my toes right now. You're stepping on my toes. Go ahead.
We can take 5 minutes to say, I'd love to see what you think about this. I've got some people that are going this way, going that way. What's your way? It's the same thing inside of faith. We have a number of pastors out there that are screaming with that passive aggressive. You're going to hell. Yeah. If you don't come here, you need to. Where are the pastors out there saying, come in for 5 minutes. You can leave. Nobody's going to judge you. What about the pastors saying on Sunday, hey, pre-game with us. Come to Direction and pre-game with us.
Man, that's
These
good.
Soft ways to invite people, because even knowing the truth in sharing with opinion and respecting that it isn't understood by somebody else or their current perceptions, that can open them to the truth. I don't mean to go too far out, but the more that we can share humbly and with opinion to guide someone to an objective truth, the more they're willing to hear it than thrusting it down their throat and telling them they're wrong.
My goodness. Guys, are you catching this? I guess it's the old additive where people say you attract more flies with honey than you do with a baseball bat or a fly swatter. So
all right, Negan.
hey. Anyway. All right, so Loren, now what's the next step for you? What's going on with fish, the fish group and the fish stewarding group, and where are you going to end up next? What's the next big step?
Right now, it's a vetting process. We're working with individuals. We're working. It's kind of funny at times. I feel like we work with certain coaches. We become the coach's coach. A lot of the businesses that we look at, it's not that they're not good enough for us. It's that they're not in a mindset that fits us. We're looking to work with people that want to steward in the end, that want to create, as Doug terms it, create wealth communities, wealth of knowledge, good wealth, ways where we can all benefit and not just create some program where it's the $49.95 or all the hype. So we do a lot with the brand discovery and the initial discovery deep dive to look at everything from a podcast to a product to things in CBD to businesses that are being built to even right now a vaccine center, and stating it really comes back to the messaging. We're looking at this one company. They have all the technicals in a row. They're not breaking through because they sing in harmony and unison with all these other people that are singing the same songs, but they're not showcasing their authority. They're not showcasing their depth. So right now, our next stages are to connect humbly and organically with the right people. It's not a sell system. It's not with what due respect I can give Grant Cardone for his approach. I disagree with it. I don't think that any of us really need to 10x our lives. We could barely handle, if we doubled the good, the bad, the wealth of this, how are we going to handle 10? For the businesses that want to grow to the point where they're profiting and making profit for others, for the individuals that want to, of course, get a certain lifestyle, but at the same time, with the money coming in, it's as beneficial to the people that are paying them. Those are the people we want to connect with. But we're not going to use the marketing campaigns. Everything is going to be, and everything has been, around educating and stewarding. And if the right people connect with that, wonderful. If they don't, it's not saying they're wrong or we're right, but we just can't make that connection.
This is Loren Weisman. He's one of the best branding and marketing specialists in the country, and I know that he doesn't say that. I'm saying that because the information that I've shared and he shared with me has helped this podcast move forward, and he's somebody that we talk with quite regularly. So let me throw some information up on the screen right now. If you'd like to reach out to the Fish Marketing Group or Fish Stewarding Group, the information is there on the screen. There it is. It's LorenWeisman.com. He's at Loren Weisman on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. He's also on YouTube as Loren Weisman. He's the host of an incredible podcast that we didn't even get to talk about. It's called WaitWhatReallyOK.com. It's the podcast that is all about business and marketing, and he talks about these very topics quite frequently as experts on and things like that. But then if you'd like to get some more information about the stewarding group, there it is at the bottom, fishstewarding.com. Loren, it is always, my head hurts when we're done talking sometimes because it's such good information and there's so much of it. And there are so many things that I notice that we are having to fix or change or update or things like that. And that's the kind of stuff that he would do for your company if you guys can get involved with or you need somebody like that. So, Loren, man, it's always good to see you. And
see you.
we need to grab lunch sometime since
I'd love that.
He is right here in Orlando. So, anyway, listen, give our love to your wife and your daughter, and tell everybody hi, and go out and enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, man. It was great to see you.
Yeah, always great to see you. That's Loren Weisman, everybody, of the Fish Stewarding Group, and we're going to have him back on one day just to talk about the podcast. Wait, what really okay? And it'll be a complete show just about that. All right, coming up Friday on the program, I've got another fantastic show for you. A lot of folks know our guest on Friday's great grandfather. A lot of people know his grandfather. And a lot of people know his dad. But I have got the man himself coming on today, Friday. This young man has seen tremendous turmoil in his life and has completely turned around his life, rebounded, and has started back down the path that God has for him. I've got Blake Hagan is going to be with me on Friday, and you don't want to miss that. It's an inspiring story of being raised in a godly family, running from the Lord, doing his own thing, winding up in terrible circumstances, and now God has blessed him with a new wife, new job, new family, new ministry, and he's doing great things for the kingdom of God, and you'll want to join us on Friday for that. All right, for Jody and for Luke, always a good show, guys. My thanks again to Loren Weisman. You can see his information again on the screen right now. If you're a business owner, this is the guy you want to connect with. If you're a media person or anything like that, you want to connect with Loren. He can help you to get your word out and to get your show or your brand going further. All right. Until Friday, we hope you found what you're looking for as you took the time to expand your search and stop for directions. Have a great day, everybody.